With Amazon's latest blunder of removing the download button for Kindle books, more people than ever before are switching over to Kobo, which is Amazon's biggest competitor for the Kindle. But if you're thinking of ditching your Kindle right now to buy a new Kobo, hold on, don't jump ship just yet. Let me tell you about 5 really important warnings that you should know about. The first thing you should know about Kobo is the fact that their bookstore is not nearly as extensive as Amazon's. When you want to buy a book on a Kindle, you are virtually guaranteed to find it on the Amazon Kindle bookstore. But on Kobo, you might have to dig a little bit to find that book. Now, specifically speaking, any book that's on Kindle Unlimited will not be available on Kobo. All of those Kindle Unlimited books are exclusive to Amazon, but most likely any big title by a major author or publisher you should be able to find on the Kobo bookstore. Now, when it comes to lesser known and maybe smaller authors, you might have a harder time finding those kind of books on the Kobo ecosystem simply because Amazon's self-publishing platform is so convenient to use. I've used it myself, so my books are on the Amazon bookstore, but you're not going to find them on the Kobo bookstore. Now, with that being said, I do personally make an effort to sell EPUB files outside of Amazon directly on my website, so hopefully other authors that you follow online will do something similar. You can buy the book directly from them instead of having to buy it from Kindle or Kobo. The second warning that I want to give you is that Kobo is not much different from Amazon. When you buy a book from the Kobo bookstore, you're doing the same thing as you're doing as buying a book on the Kindle bookstore. You are buying a license to read that book. You don't actually own the book. And on top of that, if you do buy a book from the Kobo bookstore and download it to your computer, you will still have to go through all the steps of removing DRM that is still present on both Kindle and Kobo. Now, what Amazon did recently was remove the download button for all their Kindle books on their website, so you can no longer download the file directly to your computer. On Kobo, you can still download the file, but it's a very different process compared to Kindle. What you do on Kobo is actually download a special license file, which you then have to bring to a different application called Adobe Digital Editions. Either way, I do want to give credit where it's due. Kobo is way more open and flexible compared to Amazon when it comes to allowing support for EPUBs and just being a bit more of an open ecosystem. And a big reason why people prefer Kobo is because they have a direct integration with Libby. Now, if you are buying a Kobo, make sure you go to your local library first and get a library card. The Kobo ecosystem has a direct connection with the Libby service, which lets you borrow library books directly on your device. I cannot begin to tell you the number of people who comment on my videos telling me they are buying a Kobo for this specific feature. You can just borrow library books directly on your Kobo. There is no more need to buy a book ever again if you don't want to. It is just such a seamless experience directly on the device. Now, on the Kindle, you technically can borrow library books, but it really only works well in America, and the steps to do so are a bit more complicated. It doesn't work directly on the device. But on a Kobo, they have a lot of international support around the world with local libraries. It just works so seamlessly. Now, with that being said, if you do plan on using Libby on your Kobo, just be prepared. It is not the same thing as buying a book and having that instant gratification. Sometimes you might have to put a book on hold and wait for it to become available, but still, it saves you a lot of money and it works really well. Now, my fourth warning to anybody switching from Kindle to Kobo is be prepared. There's going to be a bit of an adjustment period. The software does the same thing between Kindle and Kobo, but the way they go about it is very different. You'll definitely be spending a little bit of time learning the menus and settings and where all the little buttons are compared to your Kindle. Things are a bit different in terms of the layout, but if you ask me, I actually prefer the Kobo software. Every time I pick up my Kobo after not using it for a little while, I'm always refreshed to see how simple and easy to use the software is. In fact, I actually really do enjoy how Kobo has a few extra features that are not available on the Kindle. For example, one thing I love about the Kobo is you have reading stats built directly into the Kobo device. On Kindle, you only have that available on the Kindle app. Now, my last warning for anyone switching over to Kobo is just remember why you're buying a Kobo in the first place. At the end of the day, all that matters is using your device for reading books. Now, I know a lot of people right now are very upset with Amazon for the recent updates and changes that they've been making, and trust me, I am too. I am not a fan of the direction that they're heading with these recent changes, but I don't think switching to Kobo is the right answer for everybody. I think everyone will have their own unique circumstances. I want you to prioritize what's best for your needs and do what's best for your reading habits. Now, if you are interested in buying a Kobo, my recommendation to you is the Kobo Clara Black and White. That is my personal favorite as of right now. Link for that review video on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.